happening? That's new. Did it actually work this time?
Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, we're live. Look at that. Did it actually work this time? We know what we're doing.
Hey,
What?
don't speak too soon.
Do what?
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah, I know. Last time something went wrong when we got cocky.
Yeah, poor Jenny. How are you,
Welcome
friend?
to the show, y'all. Make sure you comment where you're watching from and say hello.
We got the early risers on here. I love it. I love seeing who like hops on first and second and third.
Yeah, we already have 6 viewers. What's happening?
This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We have a fun one on the way tonight. I'm going to do a little sharing myself.
Hello, Dennis. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining. You guys are awesome. And if you guys want to share this video, you're more than welcome to do that. But if not, that's totally fine too. We love you either way. So, oh, we
We
got
love everybody around these parts
down
here.
these here parts up in them hills. I don't know.
Better just stop right there because your accent's just going to keep getting worse.
When was my accent not bad? That's the question.
Very true. Very true.
Hey, you didn't have to agree so quickly. Good Lord. All right. So we have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And as you guys probably have kind of come to terms with, this has kind of taken the place of my Tune In Tuesdays that I used to do. We are going to, now that we're getting the audio situation figured out, we're going to have more music on the show as time progresses. And so I will be playing a song tonight. What time is it? Tonight.
It is evening, darling.
This evening. And I'm going to be playing a song for you guys. One you've probably heard before, but I haven't played in a long time. So hope you guys will enjoy it. That'll be here in just a minute. And we're really excited for our guests tonight. And we've also got some updates. Me and Lauren both.
We have things to talk about. We're busy little chicks out there.
I was gonna say busy little bees.
We are that. We are that. How was your weekend? You were off, right?
Yes.
How was it?
I've been off the last 2 weekends and actually this weekend as well. Shows just, it's just one of those things that sometimes happens where just I had a crap ton of shows the last 2 months and then just bam, 3 weeks in a row, nothing. But I will be hitting the road here next weekend. But yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice to catch up on house cleaning and errands and things that I had been putting off. And oh, I didn't know the notifications were on. Here we go. But hold on. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm trying to catch up on everything and I'm feeling very refreshed as well. So it's
Good. Good. Yeah, it's not very often we get 3 weekends in a row off.
yeah.
I did in August. My August was so dead. And the
Yeah.
first weekend was kind of like, okay, it was nice to have a break. And then by the second and third one, I was like, okay, I need a gig. I'm getting a little buggy.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that's where I'm already kind of feeling a little buggy. I'm like, when my calluses start falling off, I know it's time to get back on stage and get to,
Yeah.
I need to start playing, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I have gigs I think I have the last weekend of October off, like Halloween weekend. I might hang it out with a friend. So if that goes through, then I'll be glad that I have the weekend off. But yeah, I was with James Cook last weekend. I had a busy, busy week last week, and we were in Burke Burnett, Texas. We played the Friendship Festival, and it was incredible. You know me, I go in with very low expectations of if something's gonna be great. And so I'm like, hey, 50 people show up, we're gonna have a good time. This place was packed. We had the best crowd. We were opening for Casey Donahue. Peyton Howie was direct support. So it was just one of those days where it was just fun to be on the bill with some big names and play with a big crowd.
Yeah.
Thrilled me. I got done and I looked at James. I'm like, I want them to all be like that. And as
Right?
a band, we just absolutely killed it. I feel like I'm kind of finding my way in where I know the songs and that I know what solos are coming with James Cook Band. So it was just a very, very fun, fulfilling weekend. And we're back at it this weekend in Lubbock at the Cotton Court. He's dragging me all the way out to West Texas. Oh, son of a gun.
And you're representing tonight.
I am. Okay, if we got any Dallas Stars fans in the house, it is opening weekend. Thursday night is our first game of the season. So when I was gonna grab a t-shirt to wear, I usually try to rep my friends, but tonight I'm like, it's a Dallas Stars night. So repping the boys 9-1. Tyler Sagan, he's gonna have a good year.
So like a month ago, a little over a month ago, I had a show at a place a little more up north, and I look out in the audience and I said something to a lady about, she has anybody had a rough day, rough week, blah blah blah, and this lady raised her hand, and I was like, but it's better now, right? Because you're here getting some grub with your man and listen to some music. And she goes, and the Stars won, and she had a jersey on, and I was like, my fiddle player friend would love you.
Yes, that is awesome. I love that you think of me when those moments
I
happen.
do.
I had a moment. I had a moment like that 2 weeks ago. We were at the Lake House in Fort Worth, and it was getting towards the end of the show, and we had like two groups, two tables that were just really hanging out with us. Like they were fun. They were tipping us really good. So it was like there were other people there, but we were pretty much playing for these people. And I just randomly, someone said and made a comment about the Dallas Cowboys, and I was like, oh, who cares? The Dallas Stars won the preseason game tonight. And then this table like erupts after the show. The guy comes over to me and shows me his phone, and he goes, I told you we were Dallas Stars fans. He had pictures with the players. He had an entire room that was covered in Dallas Stars memorabilia. So
Wow.
the Dallas Stars fans are country music loving fools. That is for sure.
I love it. Oh, real quick, we have Marie Brooks, Melissa Barrick, Kent Faust. I believe I'm saying her name.
Boss. Yeah, so we got
Faust,
some ladies.
sorry.
Cool.
Jason
Melissa.
Rice.
Melissa is Katie's mom. Hi, Katie's mom.
Oh,
One of my
nice.
favorite. I have several. I call them several moms in my life, and Katie's mom is one of my moms. So I'm glad she's watching.
So sweet. Marie Barrick. Marie Brooks. Sorry. That shouldn't have been that hard. Nikki Imes. Thank you guys so much for joining. Did I say Jason Rice? I'm not sure. But thank you guys so much for joining. And yes, Dennis is watching from North Carolina.
Nice. Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, I'll let it slide, Dennis. I'm no comment there.
Be nice to the fans.
Actually, the Hurricanes are a team I don't mind watching. I'll root for them as long as they're not playing against Dallas. So we got it. Special shout out to my other best friend, Nikki, who is watching. I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Sending much love to Nikki. Nikki's my other best friend. It's crazy to have you, Katie, and Nikki all right here joining me tonight. So much love. So what do you have going on? Can I brag for a second about you? Little birdie told me you have some news to share with us tonight.
Oh, you're forcing my hand, woman.
I am, ma'am.
Actually, yes, I'm very excited because I just got the final track. The master should be coming tomorrow for my new single that will be coming out to radio hopefully this Friday if I can get everything squared away in time. If not, hopefully on Monday. But I'm very excited to share this song with you guys. It is like I've had this song for over 3 years, and it is pretty much me in a nutshell, and also my heart for the world, and so why I do music. And I really hope that it touches hearts and that everybody enjoys it. If you are a Patreon subscriber on my Patreon, you will be hearing the song tonight or tomorrow morning, so be sure to be checking in on my Patreon account for that update when I get it loaded on. It'll probably be tomorrow, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because tonight I am doing this. So
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. I'm very proud of you for this song. This song kind of has a really cool story. I want you to tell everybody about how it came up and how I was a part of it, because it's really special to me.
Yeah, I wrote the song right before I went on radio tour with Lauren, and we were in a random hotel. I don't even remember where we were, but here in Texas somewhere. And we were in the hotel room, and I do remember the giant high ceilings. It was like this big echoey room. And I was like, hey, we're supposed to play songs on the radio tomorrow for our interviews. And if you don't know what radio tour is, it's where we go to radio stations and we interview and promote singles and music and projects that we have coming up, or shows, whatever's happening at that moment. And Lauren was my sidekick for that tour. And when I used to live in Kansas at the time, I would come down for a week at a time, and we hit all sorts of stations and stayed the night in hotels and went out to eat, and we did karaoke. We did all sorts of crazy stuff. It was fun. But anyways, I digress. Well, we ended up, I was like, hey, I have a new song. Let's try it out. And she's like, okay. And I actually still have the original recording. And it's hilarious because at the beginning I'm like, I know, because she was saying something, and then she giggles, and then the song starts, and it's pretty funny. I might share that on Patreon too with the new single, just so you guys can hear how it sounded whenever it was coming together. I hadn't even fully finished the song structure or anything, and Lauren kind of helped me with her awesome fiddle playing to kind of get that figured out. And we had a lot of fun, practiced it like 3 or 4 times, and then went to the stations and started playing it. And it seemed like almost every single DJ was like, we want this song. When are you going to record it? When are you going to cut that? And this was like 2.5, almost 3 years ago. And not long, like I just wrote the song. And so now it's recorded and it's going to be released, and I'm freaking out a little bit. So yeah.
It's a great song. It's really fun to be part of something from I always like hearing, like I always tell people, one of the best parts about being friends with songwriters is you get to hear songs super early on. And that one was even like from birth, really. It wasn't even finished. Like, you delivered this little song, baby, and we took it to the radio stations and played it live on air. Like, as crazy as that sounds, I think that has a lot to do with how it ended up becoming what it's going to be when it comes out. I think everyone's going to really like it, and it'll be nice to hear you on the radio again.
It's been a hot minute. It's been since April, I think, is when my last single faded out, and I'm really excited to bring something fresh. And it's definitely the most kicking song I've ever released to radio. It's got some muscle.
Yeah, it's great. You had a good positive recording studio experience with that one. So if any of our radio friends are watching, be looking out for that. It will be dropping in your inbox soon, and you're going to want to spin the poo-poo out of that thing. It's that good.
And she hasn't even heard the final track yet, so she's just
narrow. Did you say it's called Narrow Road? It's funny, it went through several versions of what it was being called, and I like what you ended up with. All right, let's move to a song, and then we're going to move to our guest. What do you got? You haven't even told me yet.
Oh, it's a surprise. This actually is going to be, hold on one sec. I still need the music for it because I haven't played it in so long. Or I haven't played it, okay, correction. I played it not that long ago, but I don't play it enough. And I forgot how good it was, I personally think. This song was actually inspired by Miss Lauren Lee.
What? I love when you Taylor Swift me.
You need to calm down. Okay, mute yourself so that they can hear me.
Okay, here we go.
All right. This one is called Stay in It. My eyes burn from the tears I won't cry. My heart aches from the pain I deny. This can't be true. This isn't something I can do. And I can't face my anxiety. Just walking out that door is a battle for me. 'Cause I'm not sure just what or who I'll see that brings back the pain. day I get a little bit stronger, and every mile is a little less longer. I don't have to face the whole world in a minute. I just take a breath, say a prayer, and stay in it. And stay in it. And all this loss weighs down on me, holds me tight till I can't breathe. I got Jesus and my family to get me through. And every day I get a little bit stronger, and every mile is a little less longer. I don't have to face the whole world in a minute. I just take a breath, say a prayer, and stay in it. And stay in it. So many things trying to tear me down, but I'm far from being 6 feet in the ground. And every day I get a little bit stronger, and every mile is a little less longer. I don't have to face the whole world in a minute. I just take a breath, say a prayer, and stay in it. And stay in it.
I'm sorry, it was not on Cynthia, guys. We're still trying
Uh-oh.
to fix that audio setting. Oh my gosh, that about made me cry.
Oh man, sorry guys for not having the video on as well. But yeah, that's my song called "Stay in It" that I wrote when Lauren was going through some stuff, and I was going through stuff too. And the strength that you see in your friends and your loved ones around you when they're going through hard times is always so inspiring as a songwriter. And so, thank you, Lauren, for sharing your journey with me, not only your downs but your ups, so I could write songs like that.
Yeah, it feels good to be on the other side of some healing, to know that, if you're going to write a song, it's going to be based on something that, was the hardest thing I ever went through. Like that feels good to be able to relate to a song 100%. That doesn't always happen for me. I'm very picky about, I let the songs that I let get close to me. So that
Yeah,
was
thank.
really cool. I know it's terrible, but I don't have a lot of room for like new music in my head, so I'm very selective of what I let in. And when I get to say that, hey, I was a part of something, it's gonna zoom right to the top of my list. I hope you record that. I can hear that being very much a radio song. It's got a very current country vibe to it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I love that song. I forgot about it for the longest time. And then I was going through some of my old recordings and it popped up and I was like, oh, yeah. And so I went and found the music and I played it at one of my last shows and people really responded well. And I was like, oh, man, I got to remember the songs that, because the world is just so tough right now and all the time. The world's always been tough. But, we got to remind ourselves. And that's the beautiful thing about music is it always is encouraging and lifts people up. And oh, my goodness, we have a bunch of comments. I'm sorry.
I think we got some more people watching too.
Yeah.
Nikki, I had a feeling you would be able to relate to that one for sure. It was beautiful. Everybody loved your song. And thank you. I don't think anybody left, even though they couldn't see you. So that was really good. I think everybody that was in here got to hear it.
Did it sound okay? Hopefully, I think the
It
audio.
sounded beautiful on my end.
Wait,
Thanks, Bob.
always scared about how the audio is going to sound on the live video because you never know. So, anyways, well, we have chatted quite a bit.
Yeah, we're all caught up. We got everybody caught up.
And I feel like we've made her wait long enough and anybody else wait long enough. And I've waited long enough. I'm dying to interview her. So I've heard so many good things. So
you guys, please make welcome to the show, Katie Barrick, my best friend on and off the stage. Welcome, my darling.
What's up, gorgeous?
Hey,
Both of you.
So much.
Both of you.
I'm so happy to have you and Cynthia. Even though we're not like in the same room, I feel like we kind of are. We're on the same screen, and this day and age, that's about as good as it can get.
Close as we're gonna get. Yep, that's correct.
Hey, honestly, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, honestly, if it wasn't for social media, me and Lauren wouldn't even know each other. So, I mean,
very true. Yeah,
I get to meet Katie because of Lauren, and social media gets to bring us all together and have this little moment. So, anyways, go on.
This is a very long time circle coming together for me personally.
Right.
Katie's known about Cynthia as long as Cynthia's been around, and Katie and I will talk a little bit about how far back we go here in a second. But two of what I would call two of my bestest besties is Katie Barrick and Cynthia Rausch. When I talk about you guys, the people, y'all are the real deal. So it's so good to have you here with us tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, you guys. This is awesome. I'm not a podcast pro. I already told Lauren, like, I have no idea how this works, so feel free to coach me as we go.
But we're
not pros either. We're just kind of we're kind of figuring it out as we go along. We research and stuff, but there's like so much advice out there. It's like I don't have the equipment, the time, or the want to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
So, well, awesome. I see you have your fiddle, madam. Do you want to do a song now, or do you want to wait a minute and talk a little bit, or what are you thinking?
Totally up to you guys. I'm cool with either one. So
let's talk a second before Katie plays a song just about how you started pre me coming along into your life.
That the pre Lauren, like BL before Lauren. Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
So I was in classical lessons at age 3, thanks to my very benevolent granddad or grandpa and my mom finding me a teacher. And my grandpa paid for lessons and showed up to our house with a little tiny fiddle and said, find her a teacher, put her in lessons, she's going to play. And he didn't care. He was a country, Texas music, bluegrass aficionado, but he didn't care if I had classical lessons or fiddle. He just wanted me to play. So I was in classical lessons from ages like 3 to 9-ish. And my teacher moved away, and then my family moved to a different town, and everything just sort of, for 9-year-old me, sort of imploded. It really wasn't that big of a deal, but
when you're 9, that's the end of the world.
It was earth shattering to poor little 9-year-old Katie. So anyway, but I'd grown up still with a huge vinyl collection that both my papa and my dad had curated over the course of their lives, and was raised on Bob Wills and all that kind of stuff. So I'd been around the fiddle music and the country music, just saturated in it, sort of concurrently with these Suzuki method classical lessons. And so when my life got a little disrupted, my mom started looking for new teachers, and we had moved to the Ada, Oklahoma area, and there wasn't a lot going on up in Pontotoc County at that time in the way of string teachers of any sort. And so really all I had was playing around by ear or practicing the old stuff from prior lessons. And I was just kind of bummed about it all and not interested in doing anything else with any new teachers. And my mom found, or I believe got a recommendation from a fellow homeschool family for this gal that was starting to teach music lessons at the local music store. And I remember sitting in the car while my mom made the phone call, and I was just already over it. Like, don't even bother. I don't care. I'm not going to like it. It's not worth it, you know. And my mom got off the phone and just looked at me and said, "Oh, Katie, I think you're going to love her." and it was Lauren. So the time period getting me there is not as I don't have as much clear memories racked up pre-Lauren as I do post-Lauren.
Oh, I
has
like
that
that.
effect. She has that effect on you. Yeah, she'll
She does.
Your wife before she existed in it.
Yes. But I will tell you, it was very informative as far as laying a really solid foundation of being able to rely on my ears for music. I had a little bit of, learning how to read music introduced, but hadn't gotten too far into reading sheet music and stuff like that. But the classical lessons really drove home intonation and how to listen to something and then figure out how to play it on your own. And that's been an invaluable skill, regardless of the style of music I find myself playing or being asked
really
to
good.
play. So
Katie's a good example of why you want your kids to play violin and try fiddle, because a lot of kids don't have as smooth of a crossover as what you had. And I saw that instantly. Like our first lesson, I was like, well, there's no doubt the girl can play, but she wants to be a fiddle player. Like there was a clear difference. And for you to have a background in classical like you did, it intimidated the pants off me. She was the very first day I ever started teaching in that music store. Katie walked in, and so there was like, whew, this kid's been playing since she was 3. It felt like there was a lot of pressure. And then when I figured out that she really just wants to play fiddle, we had fun taking her classical skills and being like, okay, well, this is why you do that, but what do you want to do if you're playing a country song?
Yeah.
So that was really fun to be a part of that transition.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. And so, like, Lauren, how old were you when you guys met then?
I think I was 19.
Oh, you were a baby.
Sure. Yeah, I had gone through a really crazy couple of years of health problems, and so teaching again, like at an actual music store, was a big step for me of like kind of getting back into the swing of things after having a pretty major back surgery. So I called the music store and was like, hey, do you guys need a fiddle teacher? And they're like, yeah. And so they, I think, threw my name out there to whoever, and Katie's mom was, I think, probably the first person that scheduled a lesson. I had her and a couple of other kids that day. And yeah, so I did not think I would be walking into a lesson of a kid that's going to become, if not the most important person in my life. So I'm like, how did that happen? But
I'm not jealous at all. I'm fine.
Yeah, it really did. It was a 100%. God saw me, God saw Katie, God saw where Katie was at 10, 11 years old and where I was at 19 years old, and was like, y'all don't know it now, but this is going to be the connection that sets the trajectory of your life. And so that, I don't think that happens all that many times in our lives. And so it was really special.
Yeah, it was. So it was y'all are going to need each other now, but you're going to need each other way more later.
You had to establish that relationship so that when those things happen, that there was going to be that connection to be able to lean on each other.
Yeah, and music fiddle playing specifically has always been the firm foundation of our relationship. It started with that. And we will both go out. Whoever goes first will fiddle at the other person's funeral. Like we've already decided it. And if we go out together, which would be super cool, we'll just throw a fiddle party. But that's how connected we are musically. Like it just, hold
the freaking phone. What about me? Who's gonna play my
fiddle? I'm a fiddle player. It's different.
I play a stringed instrument. It's close-ish.
Different. it is still different. There is, I do have, like I was going to say, next to my brother, Katie just gets my music brain. And it's like, she always tells me I installed the buttons, like I'm being her fiddle teacher.
Yep.
You guys are so adorable. I love it. That's so great.
I mean, music is still a big part. We went to a show together a couple of weeks ago. We went and saw our favorite female band, I'm With Her. We both just totally geeked out and fangirled. And so, yeah, when you hear me saying like, oh, my best friend Katie, my fiddle playing best friend, like that's who I'm talking about. A lot of you guys already know about her.
Yes, I've heard many, many things. And then I always see like pictures. I feel like I kind of know you, but I don't, because
Right.
like I see your picture like all over Lauren's Facebook, and I always like look at him like, oh, that's not fair. I just make a face. I just make a face. I should be there.
This one,
too.
yeah.
And it's not that I don't want you there. I want to be there with you guys.
I know. See,
I don't even know what the world would do if I had all of you guys, like both of you, in the same place the same
right.
time.
I was gonna say this has to be a little bit intentional, even if subconsciously on Lauren's part, because she knows if like we both kind of know too much. So if we were both together, like it'd be too much. It'd be too much.
Oh, the stories I know, but the stories she knows. So we're not going to go there. Moving
we
on.
joked about that before the show started. Was Katie, you know too much about me, and Cynthia knows too much about me. This could turn into an after-hours show, really, really quick. Like total tea gossip fest. Katie and I joked. I was like, man, we should just. What was it that I think you thought of it? We should record conversations that we do have behind closed doors, like where we just thrash people in our minds, and just we're never like that, but together we're like, we should record.
Or just like, you know, if the transcriptions of our like voice messages to one another ever got released, like, you know, it would be game over immediately. So
we keep it there. It doesn't there.
Should I be scared and worried? And do I need to listen to these?
No, you would fit right in, girl.
Yeah, you would have a space at our table. You would have a space at our table for sure. No, if I'm ever at a not so fun gig or having just kind of an off night, like there is a constant dialogue between us at gigs, especially if we're both playing a gig the same night. Mm-hmm. Oh man, the conversations get really fun because we will talk about every little thing, and it's just like we just do this nonstop, so it's great.
Well, it's good to have somebody that, like, if you're backstage at a show that is either going really well or going not as well, like if you know you've got somebody else who understands the nuances of that gigging musician, either anxiety or like pumped up energy, and like, hey, this is gonna go great. Either way, having somebody that you can go, oh my gosh, this feels XYZ, or I'm afraid of XYZ. And you don't have to explain any further. You can just say what's happening because they live that life too, except she's living it in Texas most of the time. And it helps maintain my sanity. I hope it helps her maintain hers as well. But like,
Lauren has sanity? When did that happen?
Wait, who started that? Who said that?
Who started that rumor?
Cool. It's very true, and it's fun for me.
Sorry.
It's fun for me to have that with both of you guys because Cynthia and I do that all the time. Anyway, I gripe about gigs to her way more than she does me, but I'll have that dialogue going with her. But you as a fiddle player, we take it to a whole nother level.
You fiddle players. I felt like I was going to say a bad word there for a second. Y'all fiddle players are a whole different, like you're in a whole different league when it comes to, okay, I mean this in the most loving, sweet way.
Oh, here
just spit it out. Spit it out, Cynthia.
But you guys are a little scary.
Yeah.
Well, you guys you'll have such a unique talent, and it's a beautiful thing, but there's also such an energy. I've not seen a fiddle player yet that is not got some sort of like going on, you know, like they're like, I'm in it to win it type thing. Like y'all just come up and own the stage. And I love that for y'all, but it's a little intimidating for the rest of, I'm like on stage, I'll be looking over at Lauren. I'm like, what the heck is she doing now? I'm like, the first time I shared a stage with her, she scared me. Literally, I'm not even kidding. I didn't know she was like coming up, and she's like booty bumping me, like she's
Yep.
she's like, I thought the bow was gonna go in my
Signature move.
mouth.
Signature move.
And I was like, I look over, and she almost knocked me over. But she's like, I knew I wasn't going to. I was like, do you not understand? I have zero balance, woman. You cannot do this to me. She did it like 3 more times.
She does that on purpose. I don't do it on purpose, but I do move around a lot. And sometimes it's because I have to, depending on like what stage, what group I'm playing with. But sometimes I'm coordinating like, oh, I have to sing harmony at this mic over here, but then I have to play twin fiddles with this guy over here, and I'm whipping around and constantly in fear of my life due to like 1/4-inch cables and microphone stands and my own instrument. But Lauren does it on purpose. Mine is not always just because I'm into it and can't, like, sometimes it is, but Lauren will get up in your grill and make you work for it. And I'm usually just like hoping I don't look as like I'm flailing as much as I feel like I'm flailing.
Yeah, it's like kind of controlling like a nervous energy. And I think that's kind of, Cynthia said something about, fiddle players being intimidating. Like our awareness of what's going on just because of how we play physically, we have to know what we're not going to hit. It starts with that. So then going from there to knowing, hey, my musicians are set up this way, or there's only so much room between me and the drum riser. If you are a mobile performer, you just learn to have to read that, or you're not going to get hired, because I'm not going to be known as a clumsy fiddle player. So with that energy comes a lot of awareness that I think fiddle players have, and you have it too. I'll see Katie do something, I'm like, oh no, that was a me move.
I see pictures and videos of myself sometimes from different performances. I'm like, okay, well, that was like the Lauren Lee foot or kick or whatever. Like,
oh man,
what it's.
Yeah, I couldn't, like, I didn't know how to handle it at first. I'm not gonna lie. So like you guys are on that side of it. You guys see you're around all the lead and everything. You guys jump around. I mean, I know you guys have probably both led at some point as well, but when you're not the fiddle player who's led versus like someone who's just a basic guitar singer person like me, and you have someone booty bump you and then stuff, I'm doing good not to bump my teeth on the microphone or step on my cord and knock myself over with that. So I can't worry about Lauren right here.
You got this like Tasmanian devil whipping around.
Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, it's taking your mind off of hitting your teeth on the mic, because we're having fun over here. And so, yeah, I'm like, little tornado everywhere.
You are the Tasmanian devil fiddle player.
That's a good one. That's a good
Tasmanian fiddler. We need a shirt. That's it. Sorry.
That's your Halloween costume
she comes
this
up with
year,
a nickname.
Lauren.
She always does that. Calls me a nickname. We need that on a shirt.
You have so many shirts already.
I do.
Some of them are at my house. So like.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. We need to get about Katie. So Katie, what is one of, like, I'm just gonna throw out like a random little interview question. What is one of your favorite memories from a gig, like past, present? Well, I guess that's all there is.
Like, girl, if you got more options, let me know.
That wasn't a thought through scenario in my head, but yeah,
no, that's great.
Favorite moment from a gig.
That's a very difficult question to answer. It's a good question, but give me a second to process. Well, so there are specific songs in I'm in a band called Mountain Smoke. They're great. There are specific songs in our set that if those go well, like the rest of the show is probably going to go really well too. And we actually played at a theater in Ada, kind of full circle from that's, beginning story earlier. But we played a show at the McSwain back in August, and I had not played that venue before, and so there's a little bit of, sound check is kind of wonky and the lights are different and you don't know how everything's gonna sound. And not only was the venue, it ended up being a perfect fit for the band and everything sounded amazing. But we have been doing this Martina McBride song that one of the other guys, Randy, all the guys like to, every time we have a rehearsal, hey, you need to do this song. Hey, you got to do this song. Hey, I found this song you got to do. And so it's just this ever growing list. But we've been doing this Martina McBride song called Broken Wing, and it's got this gorgeous steel guitar entrance that our steel guitar player, Kenny Davis, shout out to Kenny, he's the best. He nails it every time. And then it's kind of a massive song to sing through. And we did this song in this theater that is gorgeous, and it felt really good in the moment. So I felt like everything was going well and was happy with how it sounded. And then after the fact, we were looking through pictures from the show, and there's a still shot of me at the mic, sort of gazing over towards the steel, just mesmerized. And Kenny and I were like, oh my gosh, like that was when I was doing the lead ride to this song and you just stopped or started saying, anyway, I knew in the moment that I felt really happy with how this massive sort of scary song was going at this brand new venue. But then to have photographic evidence that everybody was like in it, and I was sort of blissed out listening to Kenny do the steel ride, and I looked as contented and happy in that moment as I felt singing it. And so that's going to be a really nice memory that sticks with me with the whole band, but specifically with me and Kenny, because that song is, when you get through that song successfully, you feel relief and accomplishment and pride, and so it was,
you feel like a superhero.
That was
not an easy song.
Yes. that was a nice little hallmark moment from that gig back in August. I've been very lucky to have a lot of really fun gigs lately, but that sticks out to me, that one song and that one connection with my band member. So
I'm assuming was Marie Brooks there, because she just commented it was awesome.
Yes, hi Marie. Okay, so Marie Brooks is Mountain Smoke's illustrious merch table maven. She's amazing. Aww. And keeps kind of everything behind the scenes running really smoothly on our show days. So if you ever come to a Mountain Smoke show and check in to get your table or buy a CD or anything, you're going to get to meet Marie, and she's amazing. So Marie, thanks for watching.
Good song, because we keep putting off your performance.
Oh yeah,
you have so many good stories, and at least drop the little nugget of info that we like to brag about as far as Mountain Smoke goes. So there is a very special reason why it's such a big deal to be in Mountain Smoke, and tell everybody what it is. It's so cool.
Yeah, so we were kind of chatting before the show that I like to tell people, Mountain Smoke is it's a band that was formed and having successes in the Oklahoma City area and beyond before I was even born or thought of. They've been around the band is in its 52nd year now, which is really incredible as a legacy on its own. But fun factoid is that Vince Gill was a original member of the band back when he was a young kid himself, and so I do get to tell people now that Vince Gill and I have a shared listing on our music resumes. From that point on, our resumes become very, very different, but we share that one bullet point, and it's an honor and a privilege to get to play with them. So
you're officially more cool than me. Like when you got the Mount Smoke gig, I was like, oh man, she's like one up to me. That was always my fear. Teaching Katie is like, she's gonna get better than me, and she's gonna get in, but like not. I wasn't mad about it, but in the back of my head, as a music teacher, I'm like, oh no, when is the student going to surpass?
Don't let her lie. She's mad about it.
She's fuming. You can see the steam coming off of her.
Yeah. So when you got the Mountain Smoke gig, I was like, well, there you go. Like, that's the one up she's been waiting for to have on me.
Listen, Miss, my band just opened for Casey Donahue last weekend, so we're both doing okay. How about that?
We're both doing quite well. Well, would you like to play a song for us?
Yeah, I would love to. Let me make sure I've got my audio settings right for you guys here. I also warned the ladies before we started that I have a dog that lives in my house that I love, but he likes to be my backup vocalist sometimes, and I've already bribed him with a few treats, but I can't promise he won't be singing. So I'm going to play you guys a tune called Faded Love. This is a Bob Wills tune. It also happens to be the Oklahoma State country and western song. And it was the quintessential fiddle tune that when my papa started paying for music lessons, he's like, you got to learn this song for me at some point. And so it was, I don't know if it was the first fiddle tune I learned, but it was pretty quick after the fact. And it's a great tune. A lot of Bob Wills' early records have this at a like pretty hop and dance tempo because they're playing swing dances every weekend. And then there are some later recordings. Asleep at the Wheel has recorded this a few times. Anyway, there are some later recordings that have it slowed down a little bit in tempo, so I'm going to take my cue from those and make it a little more dramatic and melancholy because it is about, losing somebody you love. So, this is Faded Love. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yay!
That was beautiful.
Did you guys, we had the chat lighting up about Murphy. I don't know if you guys could hear him. He thought
Such
it
a
was
mess.
beautiful.
Right here wrapped up in a fleecy blanket, just howling away. I apologize.
I said in the comments they had my dogs barking. Like Dolly ran over here and started buffing at me, and Belle's over there looking at the front door now. They're like, "Who was that?"
We have the canine choir, Katie and the canine choir.
Well, it must have been pretty good, like, harmonies, because I didn't hear the dogs at all. I just heard an awesome fiddle song. So it was so pretty. And, like, I have it on my laptop, and it was just, like, reverberating in the room. And it's not a huge room, but it was doing its thing. But it was really beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me
teaching her, Lauren.
No, I did such a good job. Katie's my most successful. I mean, honestly, I've been teaching a long time, and her career has gone farther, and she plays leaps and bounds above any expectation that you ever have as a fiddle teacher. Like, you always hope that you get the student that can do that, and Katie keeps proving why she earns that title in that respect. That was beautiful. I mentioned in the comments, Faded Love was the very first song I ever learned.
I know. And you have that grandpa connection where you have this grandpa figure in your life that was like the reason that you started down the music path that you did too. So I know there's a lot of, you can relate to that really, really strongly, where without this person you wouldn't have ended up where you did. So
yeah, Faded Love is literally like the core of my fiddling existence. Like, had I not learned that when I did and took home my fiddle and played with my grandpa, like, everything started with Faded Love for me. I know it sounds kind of cliche to say, oh, a song started it all, but it really did for me. So that anytime I hear it, I will stop dead in my tracks. It's just the most beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song. I had actually never heard that song until I met Lauren. So,
oh, wow. Okay. You were overdue.
I was way overdue. No, you actually have a lot of really great comments on here, Katie. Of course, Mama Barrick says, beautiful, my Katie girl.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Not sure if she has the accent I do, but I threw it in there. Wesley Rausch said, very good. My husband.
Thanks.
Bob Walker said that was so soothing to listen to and sounded amazing. Katie from Dennis and Marie Brooks was all clappy hands, so everybody loved it. They thought.
Thanks, you guys.
And Lauren's just raving in the comments. She's just going nuts. Lauren Lee, I don't know who this chick is.
Who is it? I would expect nothing less.
Nepotism. It's all nepotism.
She's a little bit full of herself. I mean,
well, here's the deal. I mean, come on. If I've got to say that I've got someone at Katie's level on my teaching resume, like, you better believe I'm going to shout that from the rooftop and be like, that's my girl. I always like joke that I can't take all the credit for Katie's playing, because she did have a beginning before me. She did actually know how to play, but I do feel a pretty proud responsibility to say the fiddle player that she is today, we really bonded and was able to, like I said earlier, to bridge that gap and to watch that. And now to have her sound like that, I'm brag about that so that y'all just deal with it.
I was going to say, she can be as full of herself as she wants, as long as she also stays a little bit full of me too. Like, that's great.
I'm taking you up with me, baby, 100%.
I will say, like, I think one of the biggest takeaways for me about our lesson time together, because our friendship dynamic has changed from a teacher-student relationship, but it was so informed by that teacher-student relationship, because not only did you sit me down and say, what do you want to do and how can I help you do that, which was revolutionary to me at the time, but I also got to watch you, like, go to these different concerts and, like, your music tastes and how you absorbed music as an enjoyer and a performer of music on your own. I was so dialed into watching you do that. I was so constantly, like, just overwhelmed with, I wish I was at this same show. I want to go. And so, like, the fact that I prioritize getting to go to as much live music as I can now, completely influenced from watching how heavily you prioritized that, because it matters to how you are as a musician, if you're like what your intake is of all the other live music around you, and what you funnel in, not just what you practice to be able to perform for your own gigs, but what you take in and listen to outside of that. I got to watch Lauren do that as, you know, a teenager, a 20 something, a young adult, as a kid. And she taught me what to listen to, how to listen to it, and how to be like a really informed fan of other musicians and respect that job from both a fan standpoint and from a gigging, working, performing musician standpoint. So I will always be very grateful for that.
Well, thank you. That's really cool to hear that. I don't know, to hear someone say that about yourself. It's like, man, I guess I don't think about how I absorb music, like you said, but because it's just such a part of me. Like, I live it and I breathe it. And so it's fun to know that we were both part of the growth of my main goal when I teach anybody is, I don't care how good of a fiddle player you are, I'm going to help you become a fan of music. Like, we are going to, the first thing I do is I talk to people like musicians. And I think for you, waltzing in my little teaching studio, even back then of me not having the teaching and the fiddling experience now, that was my main goal, is like, how can I use this fiddle to turn people on to music in general, not just fiddle playing. And so for that to become such a big part of your life, you consume music like I do. Not because I showed you how to do it, but because this is how it works for me. And it's really cool. And it makes me enjoy my job better. You should try listening this way.
Right. You showed me that it was an option. It wasn't like there's, at least I hope there's not like just pure copycat element. I hope you don't feel like I'm just like following you around, copying you or anything. If any of that comes from me is meant in with compliments, not with, you know, weirdness or anything.
No, it is. And it's funny because
you showed me how to find what I liked, and that it didn't just have to be what I was practicing on for you in my lessons. Like, we talked about John Mayer. We talked about like classical stuff that we both liked listening to. We talked about Texas style contest fiddle playing because of who your teacher was. And like, there were so many different kinds of music constantly being referenced or talked about or recommended, especially if we were getting ready for holiday concerts or something like that. We went wild programming for that, because Lauren was the kind of teacher who was like, we can play what you want. Like, I'll make recommendations, but if you're into something else that is not stereotypical country or bluegrass fiddling, we'll learn it. We'll figure it out. Let's find something that resonates with you. So having an open-minded approach to being a music consumer and enjoyer was a big part of her influence as my teacher. And now as my friend, we'll sit in my living room or her car and be like, have you heard this song? And it can be literally anything. And we'll listen to it over and over again and pick it apart. And did you hear the horn line? Or did you hear these backup vocals, or like whatever? And the active listening and the active appreciating of what musicians are doing, what work with the music we like on any level is still very much a thing.
As fiddle players, that's just kind of how we geek out. Cynthia and I talk about this with other guests, is like, so what's your thing? Like, are you the songwriter? Are you the lead player? Are you the front person? Like, everybody has a role in a band, and fiddle players have a role that's just so different from everybody else, because we hear music so differently. And that's not just to say that we hear it better, and it's just different. Our job requires us to listen differently. And I really it's kind of funny. I tried out a lot of things on Katie growing up, because I was such a young teacher that I was like, she's such a sponge. Like, let's talk about this today. This is my thoughts. I think this conversation could be beneficial, because in my teaching, my main goal was, I want to be the fiddle teacher that I wish I had. And that is what's fueled my passion for teaching. I haven't talked about it a lot on the show before, but you're kind of cracking into that for me. Yeah. That teaching is, if not bigger than performing for me. And most people watching know me as a performer, but Katie was a way for me to kind of try edgy things as a teacher and just not have the same lesson every week. So she brought up our Christmas shows. My fiddle concerts, I wasn't allowed to call them recitals. They were 100% concerts because recitals were boring. And I had kids with like previous violin teacher trauma, and they were like, if you mention recital, I'll freak out. I'm like, seriously, I'm not exaggerating. Kids had
trigger word. Recital.
Yeah, recital was literally a trigger word. And if Nikki's still watching, she has a hilarious. I have so many friends that will say, "Man, I tried violin for 6 months until they threw me in a recital." So I knew going into my concerts, I've got to make this positive. And so Katie and I, from the get-go, was like, "This is a concert. This is a show. This is your chance to be a legit musician. I don't care. We're going to play for everybody's parents and grandparents. A stage is a stage." And so watching her develop into this performer through our student concerts was huge. If anybody here is watching or knows someone, I know your mom can attest to this. Lauren Lee's fiddle concerts were legit. They were up until even I quit last year. And the Christmas shows, nothing was off limits. Like one of my favorite performances we ever put together, I had like 12 kids playing Feliz Navidad and a complete arrangement. I remember taking the Mariah Carey Hark the Herald Angels and splitting it up and making it this huge group thing. Like there was nothing. What was your wildest concert performance? Do you have any certain like totally no one expected it? Because Katie was the finale. If you came to my concerts, Katie was the finale. Nobody played after Katie. Like she shut it down.
Which I was honored. Let's be clear. Like that was a privilege.
And I never really thought about the pressure that put on you because I knew how good you were and I knew what you could do. So now that I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that I was probably really hard on her during that time.
I definitely, I felt the pressure a lot, but I do think at that point I was probably, I think I can admit to have been just full of myself enough that I probably would have been a little offended had you given the finale spot to anybody else. It worked out.
It's like, I'm humble, but I'm a little proud about this. You know, like,
this continues to be a journey of self-exploration for me on that very, very same topic. I'm not cleansed of that particular combo of qualities just yet. But so there are two things, Lauren, that stand out to me specifically from Christmas concerts. One was a group performance, like you mentioned, in which there were, I think, maybe like 7 or 8 of us that were doing Carol of the Bells. And there were no less than 4 different parts. It was almost like a choral arrangement that Lauren like masterminded. And then, so I remember whatever part I was playing, I was kind of the anchor person for that part. And we had like a couple of other advanced kids in Lauren's studio that were all on a part, and then the other kiddos would get assigned, somebody. So we had these sections basically, and we didn't have music. Like we had to memorize it, and it was really, really cool. But I remember getting to the first like group rehearsal at the music store to put this together, looking at her like, are you out of your mind? Like this is never gonna work. And it ended up being very cool. But that was a little,
Nikki just mentioned that before you even said
yes,
it.
that one
Nikki
sticks
said
with me.
Nikki said you haven't lived until you've heard Carol of the Bells on fiddles. And it's really true. I don't know. Fun. I think I was just a little gullible back then. And I was like, these kids can learn whatever I throw at them. But that's how confident I was in my arrangements. My whole goal was to take songs that people think are too big for them and bring them down to your level, because we didn't get that as fiddle players. When you learn from other fiddle players, you play their version and you do this lick, and fiddle players, like old school fiddlers that we grew up with, like the old guy fiddle players we always joke about, a lot of them have passed on, but those guys, they didn't cut us any slack. Like, you learned this song this way. And I remember being a teenager going, man, it would have been fun to just play a Taylor Swift song for fun, or turn a George Strait song into an instrumental. So our Christmas concert was where we would do that. And I don't, like, again, looking back, I'm like, I probably bit off a little more than I could chew, but I would just tell them if I thought you could do it, then I knew they could. I wouldn't.
It always worked out because
every kid was on a certain part for a reason, and that also was a credit to me as a teacher, knowing the student that well, like knowing where they're comfortable and what they're capable of.
And how to pair people off, and
you've got a place where you're comfortable, and then you've got an area where you can safely push it. And if you do that in the right way, that's where your potential is going to finally hit, because I come in seeing your potential as your teacher. I don't get stuck where you get stuck.
Right.
So it's not just as your teacher. That's not just a teacher thing. That's a Lauren thing.
Performers
she comes in and she's like, I will make you reach your potential, whether you like it or not.
You will.
Yeah, I believe in that. And I believe that music can really break down a lot of walls and insecurities and anxieties. And as performers, we all have it. You can do it for 50 years and you're still going to get butterflies when you step out on that stage, but it's knowing what to do with them. And I learned how to do that for myself by teaching other kids. Like, honestly, being a good fiddle teacher made me a better performer, 100%. And I'm like, not only do I say that about myself, but you're my living proof.
Yeah. Well, it is useful when you're a student, and even now that I'm really not, I'm still have a lot that I can learn. Let's be clear, but like not in active student mode anymore, but it's pretty essential that your teacher be able to look at you and see you with progress made in the future, where you likely may not be able to do that for yourself or in the same way. And Lauren always was able to visualize very clearly, like, I can't do the work for you, but if you let me help guide you and make some suggestions and put in the work, then you can do XYZ at the Christmas concert in 6 months, or you will be able to audition for this scholarship and get it and play at the Bluegrass Festival because you want it. Like, there was no, oh, I don't know if you're ready to try that yet from Lauren as a teacher. It was, okay, how do we do it? And here's how you need to tackle this.
Because as a teacher, you have to believe in your student and have to let them know you believe in them as a student. And honestly, it doesn't matter what you're teaching. I'm sorry, the homeschool mom moment.
Yeah.
Get this down.
You're good. You're in good
You gotta
company.
believe in your student.
You do. You really do. And I just truly believe.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, it is a very much a life thing. Like, I truly believe that if you want to learn that song, and a lot of times for students, I knew these kids weren't going to be professional musicians. I knew that these student concerts are probably the only time these kids are ever going to get to perform in front of people. So let's do something cool. Let's do something fun. And like I said, that turned me into a better performer now, is going, well, if people like that idea, well, let me push it to this limit. So it's cool to have this conversation with you as a fiddle player, because I think it's enlightening to other musicians of other instruments that having that type of teacher, having that type of background, and to people who want to learn instruments, find someone that feeds your passion, not tells you that it's too hard. But I also would be the first person to be real with kids. And I remember taking Katie to fiddle contests and going, I hate to break it to you, but you're going to get your butt whipped today. But that's not why we're here. Let's find a reason why we're going to be here. And I was right every time. I would tell her, you're probably number 3, number 4 here. And it wasn't to bring you down. It was for you to walk in as a musician and be able to stack yourself up and go, look, this is what it's like in the gig world. When Cynthia and I know this, being opening artists, you have to walk in and you got to know your stuff and go, you know what? I know I'm not the headliner, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here for a different person, and be having to look at Katie or another student and go, honey, you're not going to win. So let's not put our focus on that. Let's put it somewhere where we can get something out of it. And Katie would get beat at a fiddle contest and get really mad. And the next fiddle lesson, we would totally decompress. And by the time it was over, she would go, okay, I get it now. Because I used to get my butt whipped at fiddle contests. So I'd already been through it, but I sure know what I got out of it. And I think that can apply to us as musicians now, performing on stage. And if you have a good show, it's great. But honestly, the ones that were tough are the ones I learned the most from.
Yeah.
Not that you shows. I have a question for you.
Yes,
Where is your favorite venue that you've played? Do you have a special room that means something special to you?
Well, I got to play at the Tower Theater. I got to help open for Wade Bowen a couple of years ago, and just play Tower. The Tower is a very like historic sort of landmark venue here in the Oklahoma City area. So that was just the cool factor for me. That was a pretty big one. I'll tell you, one of my favorite rooms to play in, and it's because I get to play in it pretty consistently, is the Jazz Lab. It's a part of the University of Central Oklahoma's campuses, but it's in downtown Edmond, sort of separate from their main academic campus. And it's set up like a cabaret style jazz club. And so the vibe and the mood and the lighting is just so cool. And it's a venue that I had to learn my way around, and I wasn't immediately comfortable on the stage. And I've played there enough times consistently now that it just feels like home when I walk in, and I really, really enjoy getting to be there. And then I also really, really enjoyed the McSwain there in Ada back in August, that Mountain Smoke show that we did. That was a gig that, full disclosure, I was walking into a little surly and gripey in my mind already.
I can attest to that. She talked about it all day long up until sound check. I mean, we were just, and I knew it was one of those, like, once you get there, you'll be fine. I've played there. It's a beautiful room.
It's beautiful, right?
But she did have you had a lot of unnecessary thoughts just for going into that show for a lot of reasons. It was just one of those weird shows for me.
No, it was just unchanneled anxiety on my part, and there was no real reason for it.
You know what? I always just blame hormones.
There you go.
She does. That's legit.
That is my go-to, girl.
I can't do that. I'm the only girl in the band. I will not use that excuse.
Well, no. I mean, like, why am I being the way I'm being? I'm like,
right.
Hormones. It's just hormones.
Hormones. Everything is hormones. It works.
Mine is going to be like that's my family's like generational curse is either undiagnosed or unaddressed anxiety for usually no reason at all.
It's like a blanket condition.
Yes.
It just fits so many things.
It's what we passed down from.
What about you? Well, I don't know that I've asked you. What's a room that's special to you to play in?
Who are we talking to right now? Me?
You.
Yeah, your name's Cynthia.
I'm like I'm not even here right now.
No, our fiddle playing where I told you we were going to hijack this show. It was
no, it's great. No, I'm enjoying listening as well. I mean, I'm just randomly like interjecting, my stupidity, but no, it's like a special room for me. I don't know. I think so. Like the Texan Theater in Greenville, Texas is beautiful.
I just played there 3 weeks ago. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was sending Katie pictures of that place.
Yes, it is beautiful, and they have a wonderful clientele as well. But like, I don't know, like my favorite room, I don't know. I think I'd have to say, like, are we talking like favorite, just like the overall like vibe, or like one that I felt like I walked in and I own the stage type situation?
Yeah, that, sure.
Okay, so like the time that I feel like I walked in and like really owned the stage is 2 of my last shows with my band, and that was Bob's Off the Square, and I feel like we had a really good tight show. And then also when I played at Hoots, I think you were there, Lauren, when we had a freaking blast. And so I think going to those 2, walking out on the stage and really feeling just confident and excited to be on stage, and just happy to be myself. And I threw a few Lauren kicks in there,
Yes.
You did. It was cute.
I did. So like, I have to be very careful. I am not a balanced person. And so if I kick too hard, I will go all over. So I have to be very careful, but I like to throw a little extra. Like, I used to just stand still, like stiff as a board and play. And it drove Lauren nuts. And she'd be like, you need to move. And then she's like,
loosen up.
Even my husband Wes, he's like, look at the videos, you don't move. And I'm like, I was used to work, like growing up I played on the worship team and with my family's band, and there was usually so many, because my family's huge, and so like there were so many people on stage, you didn't move, you'd bump into somebody,
you just stay in your spot. Yes,
exactly. Yes. And so like for me, I'm used to like not having room, and there are those gigs where we don't have room, but no, Lauren like really helped me. She's like, you have room, move a little.
Loosen up, lady.
Loosen up. She's like, just relax, and that really helped me a lot. So I think the funnest show I've probably ever had with Lauren, we played at Club Rodeo in Wichita, Kansas, and opened for Matt Stell. It was just me and her, and we just had a hoot, and we played pool beforehand and just hung out, and then afterward, and we did makeup all stupid, and yeah, it was fun. But yeah,
those are the best shows when you can either get there early and or hang out after and like be a part of the venue, not on the stage too.
Yep.
When it's just as cool of a hang. I love places like that where you can just like step off stage, you've done your job, you had a blast doing it, and then you get to sit down and vibe with the people that were going to be there regardless of whether you were or not. Like those are always really fun.
So have you guys done shows together then?
Oh yeah, we've done some really random crazy stuff. Back when I had my fronted band, Lauren Lane Liberty Road was my family band. Katie would make like special appearances. If I would get a gig at, I think we did a couple of festivals, or I would say, hey, you need to come hang out and get on stage and do a song with me. I mean, I think there was always at least a few times a year there pretty steadily. And then I would have my student concert. So we would always do some special twin fiddle duet. We would always have some song going all the time. It's been a while. I don't think we've done anything on stage in a long time.
I think the most recent, we go do more stuff together off stage than we get to do on stage now, primarily because we both basically do the same thing. Like, not that we're identical as performers, but we fill the same role on stage, and we're, backup singers and sidemen, and that's, we're great at it, and that's what we do. But it doesn't lend itself to having two of you that do the exact same thing on the same stage very often. But I did get to pop into one of her last student concerts in, I think, Muskogee. Is that where we were?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that cute little theater.
Roxy Theater.
The Roxy. So my schedule's nuts, but I ended up having one of her student concert days free finally after like years. And so I hopped down to Muskogee and was able to sort of do like an alumni appearance, and we did a twin fiddle tune that we'd learned years and years ago when I was still in her studio, and just had a blast getting to see. It made me feel ancient, but it was so cool to get to see like her current studio of kiddos and how much everything just still felt the same. Like they all knew each other and loved each other, and that's the way we were, all of her kids, when I was a kid. We all knew each other and would catch up at rehearsals, and it loved playing together. And so that same atmosphere was still very present. And so I got to come crash that last student concert in Muskogee, which was super fun.
That was fun. Yeah, the stars just happened to align for our schedules to get to work. Yeah, when we hang out off of, like, sometimes we don't want to talk about that. Sometimes we do. It just kind of depends. We're vent buddies after shows and before shows, and I'm always going to decompress with Katie over a show. But it's fun kind of having, and even Cynthia, like, you both fill, like I said earlier, y'all fill different roles for me musically, which is fun for this show to bring all of that together. And that was why it was important for us to want to have someone who was, you mentioned a while ago, being more of a sideman. And yeah, we're girls, but in the industry, that's a biz word. We're sidemen.
Yeah, we're sidemen.
I knew we wanted, our whole concept of the show was to bring in musicians and artists from all different areas of country music industry. And you were the first one that was like, we have to have Katie on and really focus on what it's like being a fiddle player. Not just because I'm a fiddle player, but it is a very interesting role. And for Cynthia, like I remember when I first started with her, I'm like, you do realize having a fiddle player like changes the dynamic of your band. And especially
I did not. I wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
But it's really important to know that our role is just a little different. Do you feel like you have found a place with knowing your role is different as a fiddle player, because a lot of people don't, and we talk about that.
Yeah, we have had a lot of post game wrap up conversations about what that looks like. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm pretty comfortable in that, knowing that that role has to be pretty malleable and that I have to be malleable within it. I also have to have the flexibility, like none of the different people that I gig with, like none of those musical outfits look the same either. So not
I
only
would say
is
that's true for you. Your projects are a lot more all over the place, and mine are way more cohesive being in Texas.
yeah, there is, I do think there is maybe a little bit more consistency in your gigging schedule and what that looks like just right now for you than, and I think maybe that is sort of speaks to the difference between the Oklahoma music scene and the Texas music scene right now, and that could be its own whole other hour or two of conversation. But you know, if I'm with Mountain Smoke, sometimes I'm like fronting, and most of the rest of the time I am singing backup. I'm always playing something, but we also have another fiddle player, Randy Sanders, who is just a gem. And I never dreamed I would get to have the opportunity to be in a band that prioritized twin fiddling, because that is not a thing that usually exists in the country music industry anymore. It used to be completely commonplace for the road band, for the biggest country acts, to have at least two fiddle players, sometimes even three. You know, like Mel Tillis.
Very true.
Mel Tillis didn't go anywhere without three fiddle players.
Ray Price didn't either.
Right. And so, but that really fell out of the norm. I would say, I don't know, Lauren, like in the, you know, as we got into like 80s and 90s, like urban cowboy era country, and which is not necessarily a bad thing, just a shift that happened. And so to get to play with another person who can do all the same things you do and then like play harmony with them on stage is really cool, but it takes some extra balancing, because you also can't have two fiddlers up there playing over each other or doing the exact same types of things and making the stage sound imbalanced or the song sound imbalanced. And so sometimes I'm playing lead fiddle, sometimes I'm playing only fiddle, sometimes I'm playing harmony fiddle, sometimes I'm not doing any fiddle. Like I can be doing one of any like 5 things on the stage when I'm with Mountain Smoke, because there's 9 of us total also. And so there's just in that band alone, there's a lot of various roles to fill for me. But then like this last weekend, I gigged with my near and dear duo partner, Kent Foss. I think he was on here earlier. He may still be. Hi, Kent.
We love Kent.
We love Kent. He was the very first person to hire me to do any fiddling when I moved up here to go to school and had graduated. And anyway, would not have any sort of country fiddling gigging career up here in the 405 without him. So, but when I'm with Kent, it's usually just me and him. We started out as an acoustic trio, and we lost our bass player Chris pretty unexpectedly right before COVID hit, and we miss him very much. But we've continued on as just a duo since then. And when I'm in that setup, I'm backup singer, sometimes occasionally lead singer, but also as a musician, I'm bass, I'm rhythm, I'm melody fills between verses. So just this one instrument alone has to carry a whole different type of workload when I'm playing with an acoustic duo setup versus playing with a full country band 9-piece setup. I've gotten a really cool opportunity over the last year to play with a local band. They're an incredible event band, and they're called Drive. And so their set list is covers.
It is.
It's
wild.
Like 3 hours.
So jealous of
covers.
that gig,
and it's so incredibly fun. I have the time of my life with them, and they've been great enough to trust me with not only cover songs that have specific fiddle parts in them, like we do Friends in Low Places and Devil Went Down to Georgia and Man, I Feel Like a Woman. So it's these songs that have specific fiddle parts that you have to have a fiddle player for. But we also do a bunch of other pop rock covers that may or may not have some studio strings or synth parts in the background for me to copycat. And they're cool enough to just let me kind of improv in the background and do my own thing that, you know, adds to what's there but isn't like distracting or weird or showboaty. And I've had the time of my life doing that. That's a newer thing for me as far as my gig
You
schedule.
have a few videos that you've been doing some fiddle cams.
Yeah, my little fiddle cam videos have been so much fun, and I hope they don't annoy other people, because that's what I want to see other musicians do. Like, if I'm consuming social media content from other musicians, I mean, there's some guys I've seen that are sidemen that have like the Google glasses or whatever, and so you get just their POV of what it's like on stage. So this is like as close as I can get to that. And I went, well, if that's what I enjoy doing, that's just the content.
Yeah, it's fun. It's you get, and it's fun to see you do it in a different genre. Like sometimes you turn that thing on and I'm like, what the heck is she playing? So yeah,
it's yet again just another totally different role to play, because sometimes I'm the lead solo instrument and sometimes I'm in the back vibing to Kesha and just playing things that fit in the chord structure of a Kesha song. So that's been a really rewarding and truly just enjoyable experience.
Well, it's a testament to your talent, because that's a hard gig. That's what I would call a hard gig, because the material's all over the place. And Cynthia hears me crap about, you know, playing with artists who's just, these set lists are just, who put this together? And she's always
I've gotten better, okay?
I've gotten so much better.
That's where that was going.
Like, yes, I told her, it's like, look, if you're gonna have a fiddle player in your band who's also your best friend, there's some stuff. And that a good proper set list.
Let's just say when she critiques me, we're not best friends. I'm just kidding.
But a personal professional line.
How many times have we seen artists? It's like, man, they would have been so much better if their set went this way. And as a fiddle player, there is so much pressure on us to make sure that we're directing and flowing that set list the way it should be. And sometimes we get gigs like with Drive that it's just a left ball curveball thrown at you right and left all night long. So.
It's made me really like sharpen up on some stuff that I've never had the opportunity to sharpen up on, and I felt like it kind of kicked me in the butt a little as a musician in a good way, and I needed it, and like, hey, like, learn this. But it's also been just so rewarding and fun, because I've never gotten to be a cover fiddle player before, or like a cover string instrumentalist. It was really cool. So
for some reason, playing with all these Texas artists, they're all, you know, so stuck on themselves. We have to do all their songs, all these songwriters. I'm totally
all the original stuff. Yeah,
you love writing pieces to my music.
I do.
It's bad when the studio people don't do it like you do it.
I know. It is fun to get to play with artists from all walks of life of the music industry. So that's a really, really cool take on that band that you get to play with. Like, I think that's why it was so cool to have another fiddle player on here, because I can talk about this stuff all day long, but hearing your perspective on it, like Cynthia messaged me in our chat. She's like, I'm learning so much. Fiddle players do have a lot to add.
That was a private chat for a reason.
No,
don't make her think I'm stupid.
No, not at all. So I do actually. Am I allowed to ask questions on this shindig as well? No.
Go ahead.
I would like to know, as a front woman and a writer, like, what does having a fiddle player versus not having a fiddle player do to affect how you deliver a song when you're on stage? Or does it affect how, like, do you write with instrumentation in mind at all? Or like, how does that affect you as the musician that you are, knowing that you've got the option of you know, this specific band setup or solo or whatever is in between?
Right. So Oh, that's a really good question. So I've like never worked with another fiddle player other than Lauren, so I'm not sure that my viewpoint isn't completely biased.
Oh, it is totally,
Great. No, it's
totally.
fine.
But no, so like the energy that fiddle player, any kind of lead brings to a stage is always going to be good. But the fiddle, I will just say, just sharing a stage with my best friend is number one. It's just
Yeah.
you can't beat it. But yeah, just I say that, but my husband is also my best friend first and foremost. Let me just clarify. But no, like
Sure.
Lauren, she motivates me to be a better musician, 100%. And in writing, I'm not sure I'm answering your questions correctly, but in writing, I actually am the least creative person when it comes to what instrumentation should go in the song.
Yeah.
And up until the last couple of years, actually the last year, well, I'm just gonna be completely honest. The last year is when I really started honing in on what like picking apart songs. Like I actually used to not even listen to music and hear the individual instrumentations.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear them. I couldn't hear the differences unless it was something I didn't like. And
Yep.
then I
That's valid.
and
Yeah.
but like so like the music flows like a river for me. I don't know if that makes sense, but it flows like a river in my mind. And when I hear the music, it's like just this one big wash. When something's wrong, it's like a little tiny rock that just pop right in the face. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It
don't let
sticks
that.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. And it sticks out. And so like for me, like I never think of the different parts. So it's all just one big thing. This last year I've been slowly starting to see, I don't know, not to get too metaphorical, but like the currents and the different like sediments and things that are in the bottom and you know the
Yep.
things that hold it together and the tufts of grass along the way, you know, all
Yep.
the things that make music. And I'm starting to see those individual parts. I'm the same. I'm this person across the board though. Like I look at people, I look at art. You're one thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just that's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
I don't think it is just your thing. Like it's not intrinsically bad at all. I find that so interesting that visual picture really makes sense for me when you explain it that way. So you're a like just the full scope. You've got the whole landscape and you're not honed in on the details
yeah,
as much in at least at the beginning of it.
right.
Sorry, that was my dog. Um, um, he's very bored with me not paying attention to him right now. But my brain doesn't work like that. Like I get so hung up on those tufts of grass or that one current or that one big rock. And if that rock doesn't look or sound the way I think it's supposed, like I get real stuck on details, and it can be limiting. You know, you have to have people that can do both.
Right.
I think it's interesting how it's kind of like different artists list, and even just band music lovers in general, but we all listen at a different dimension. And like
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia's a little bit more one dimensional, where it's just kind of like nothing really jumps out, where I'm like 30 dimension, where I can't just listen to a song and not hear everything. Like it does get kind of miserable. Yes, Cynthia.
Sorry. I got a perfect illustration. So you guys,
Right on us.
I see the garden. Sorry, I don't know why I'm on a gardening nature kick, but
Yes.
I see the garden. I know what I want the garden to look like. I have no idea how to make the garden look that way. You guys know how to make the garden look the way that I envision. And that is so freaking cool. Because to me,
Yeah.
like, I see my husband's an artist. I see him painting, and I'm like, I have no idea how he's going to make that look like that picture over there. And then it does. All the pieces don't look coherent to me. Like my brain's like freaking out. Like this doesn't look at all like you're not very good at what you do. But but then it comes together, and I'm like, what the crap? And
Yeah.
you guys are able to. You guys are the really cool little gardener people, like little gnomes that go and make everything all pretty.
We go in and say you need this seed, this type of seed here, and this plant these flowers here, and this is not going to grow in the shade, or it will, or whatever. And like, yeah,
and to me, that is why when people like Cynthia and other, especially Texas artists or country artists, when they hire a fiddle player, that's the expectation that I give them. Like, well, if you hire me, like, it's my job to come in and fill all those little spaces and take care of adding. You don't have to worry about adding that blade of grass to the picture or add that plant to the garden. That's our job.
Yeah, let me take care of that.
Yeah, it
Is that not a perfect metaphor?
that is perfect.
God.
Yeah. It
I feel
requires to listen on a whole different dimension, and at the same time it can be a beautiful thing. And I laugh. I like when she was describing that, I'm like, I don't even know what that's like. I cannot hear music that way. So I think that's a really, really cool conversation point.
Yeah, I do too. And like, we can't help contribute our one or two like detaily things if there's not somebody somewhere involved in the process going, the end picture has to look or sound like this. Like, we have to have the Katies and the Laurens of the music world, have to have the Cynthias of the music world to help inform what the end goal is going to be. Because for my part, I will get very stuck on a detail, or I'm not a writer. Like, I never have been. I have some experience creating instrumental music from years ago that was really cool, but it doesn't come naturally. It was in an academic setting where I had 2 weeks, and that was my only job, was to write music for string instruments. And it was always tough for me to get started, and it was always tough for me to wrap it up. It doesn't Creating and writing and being able to have some sort of big picture end goal does not come naturally to me at all. To be able to have a blank slate and put something on it and know what you want that end goal to look like and not get hung up in all the gory details as much is something that I really admire. And I wouldn't have anything to do if somebody hadn't already written a song for me to have a part in, because I'm not going to be the person that can write the song or map out the piece. I'm going to be the person that you need to have that pretty much done already and say, here's where I need you to fit in.
Right. I love that. That, you know what, I will say, like, as a musician, artist, and a writer, all that, I've always kind of felt like you guys all have like this training. And I mean, my mom trained me, my dad trained me, don't get me wrong, but like, you guys have like official training. and
we have cards that show that we've been officially trained.
Certified. I don't have a certified I'm certified, that's for sure. But anyways, I digress. Real quick before I forget, Dennis, hello Dennis, Blacktop Bloodline, Noni, and
my friend.
Good night, Tyler, and then Marie Brooks, Susan, hello. Thank you guys so much for joining, and Ron, thank you guys for joining. Sorry, we keep forgetting. We're like chatting away, and we keep forgetting to tell everybody hello. But what was I saying? Crap.
You're getting sidetracked.
You're certified.
I'm
certified.
I'm certifiable. So like, you guys are, like I said earlier, a little scary, but it's like intimidating, because I always feel like I for a long time I felt like I had nothing to. Yeah, I sing pretty. Yeah, I write songs and everything, but I still never felt like I could, when going into a band specifically, like I couldn't bring much to the table. I didn't know music theory and all that stuff, and so right. Like I came in like thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing. My last show with my band blew my mind. We had one rehearsal, and these with three brand new guys, and they played a 2-hour show with me, and they're like, don't even worry about us. Whatever you do, we'll follow you. And I'm like, okay. And they did. I was like, Cynthia, don't screw up. They will follow you down the rabbit hole.
No, we'll help you stay out of it, actually.
No, they really did. Several times I started going off, and they were just kind of glanced over. I'm like, don't follow me. Don't follow.
Yep. We're good. That is one of the things that, like, that is Sideman 101, is you have to be flexible enough to go along if you take a slight detour on the planned excursion path, but also it is pretty much our job to make sure you don't go careening off the side of the cliff either. Like that, there's a balance there.
I told you I'm not balanced.
Yeah, it has been fun watching Cynthia as an artist like grow into the band leader role, not just necessarily the frontman role. And I like talking about that. Like, there's a sideman drill, there's the frontman role, there's the bass, there's all these different elements. And to me, a really good. It's fine if the frontman doesn't do much band leading. I mean, that's still our job, but it makes our job a lot easier if you can step up and go, you know, this is my song, this is direction. And Cynthia has taken a lot of direction with her music. I would agree with you, specifically the last year, just in your writing and how you lead a band and your expectations. Because when I first came on, she just let the band do it for her, and that's how she would get in a situation where I'm like, "Are you sure this is how you want your music to sound?" I'm like, "Have you ever told them?" And she would say, "No." I'm like, "Well,
you gotta tell them, Cynthia."
Yeah, you gotta be.
No. Okay, so I thought and the band leader was my dad, and you didn't tell him.
Right. Yeah. So then you
that is tough.
Independent artists. I'm like, girl, if you're gonna write good music like this, like own it. Have a direction. It's we can't read your mind. We're good at it, and I can give you something, but I want you to be able to give me so I can give you feedback. It's kind of an ebb and flow type thing, and she's understanding that, and that's why. You know, anybody else that's watching that's a picker, like you hire a fiddle player, that's what you get. And if that's not what you're getting, hire a different fiddle player, because
you get a high energy, beautifully sounding, judgmental person.
And I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Sometimes people don't, first of all, they don't want a girl in the front, which is fine, or they don't want an energetic fiddle player. That's fine. It depends on what you're
fine.
Well, I mean,
I know what you're saying, but also not fine.
It's not fine, but I get it, you know. And honestly, there's sometimes groups that I'm like, you don't need a girl in your band.
That's fair.
I will vouch for all fiddle players. Like, you should know how to do this stuff. Not just because I can. I've worked hard at learning how to do it from other musicians. So yeah, it's fun to have this conversation with a front person and a side person, and I think all of our little worlds come together very cohesively.
Yeah, for sure.
We need to hang out, like, not digitally.
Not on Zoom.
Yeah, it needs to happen. I'm going to drag Katie with me to a gig in Texas. Like, it's going to happen. She's asked me a couple of times, but it's never involved you, Cynthia Rausch.
I would invite you to my house, but I live in an RV, so there's not a lot of room for people.
Well, then
we barely fit.
Maybe we should also discuss dragging Cynthia across the border north and coming up here.
Drag Cynthia across the border. I will kick and scream. This will not happen.
She said, "Get me away from that Red River. I will not cross it."
Right. Once we get her across
we're going to Cancun, then I'm all in.
She said she'll go the other way, but she won't come north across the Red River, and you cannot make her.
And I can't blame you. Absolutely can't blame you. Well, ladies, we're rolling up on almost an hour, about an hour and a half of hanging out with Katie. Still, like, I warned everybody, this was going to be a long-winded one. If you get two fiddle players in the same room, you're in trouble. Like, you're going to be there for a while, especially if we're all talking our world. That doesn't always get to happen. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you're, like I said earlier, you're our first kind of sideman, bringing someone in from a different aspect of the country music industry. And I couldn't think of anyone better to have on our show for the first time of exploring a different avenue. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff that people are going to get out of this conversation. I know I did. And yeah, it's just been great. I love both of you so much. Cynthia, what else you got?
I don't know. Why
I lived to put
like, don't look at me.
Not ready. I wasn't ready
to put her on the spot.
I'm only the host. Don't look at me.
Thanks, Katie. Wow. Just threw me under the bus.
I will have to say, I'm a professional. It doesn't even bother me anymore. We live under the bus. I take up permanent residency under the bus.
It's a tour bus. As long as it's a tour bus.
As long as it's a tour bus, we'll live under the bus.
Want to give a shout out to our friends that have been watching, and most recently Noni. She said girl power. She knows all about the girl game. She is a drummer. You think we got it? Cool. She's the drummer in a band of all
Ooh.
boys.
My
Yeah.
arms and legs don't work like that.
Like
I have me neither.
Mine
I
neither.
have a show with Blacktop Bloodline on the 17th, I do believe.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure
Nice.
it's the 17th. Katie, if you don't have plans, I should drag you with me to that one because they are a fun group to play with.
Fun group, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that your next gig you said?
It's next weekend. I've got one in Lubbock this weekend, but I've got double gigs next weekend. I'll be in College Station and Kingston, Oklahoma. Actually, I have a gig in Oklahoma.
Kingston. Oh, dang. All right. Yep. Cynthia, what about you? What's coming up on the gig schedule for you?
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. You're a better host than I am. Oh gosh. Okay, so actually on October 15th, I'm playing for a boo crawl in Mansfield, Texas.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I've never played for a boo crawl before. This is gonna be something. And then I'm playing at a Tex-Mex restaurant, so that's Saturday night, and I will be
Absolutely.
eating Mexican food.
You have to. It's required.
Yeah, so that's the 17th and 18th of October. I will be putting it on my website shortly. I just remembered I hadn't done that yet. So they were
Oh,
new.
you have one of those? Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
because I'm kind
one
of
of those.
official-ish.
She's award winning.
She is.
Oh, I dabble.
You're amazing. I will never forget that phone call. Trust me. That Lauren phone call after the award show.
What? No, she didn't.
Oh, yeah, she did. She was freaking out because I didn't answer the first time. And so I got this message that was like, oh my God, you have to call me.
Have you seen the video of when
Yes.
and she's jumping in the background?
Yes,
It is
great.
the best moment of my life.
Yes.
Next to getting married, getting saved, and having a child. Anyways, but yeah.
It's up there.
But other than that, it's
really up there. But no, I didn't even
you posted that.
I don't know. I sent it to you.
Oh gosh, yeah, I
post it.
I
the video's on there, but I zoomed in for you so you could see yourself really good.
I'm just really short, so it's just literally me coming. Just all you see is my head
bobbing.
She won the T3R New Female Vocalist of the Year award, and you just hear this. It's like just this high pitched shrill. That was me.
Yeah.
My promoter was standing beside her, and they're almost the same height. And he goes, "I literally need a hearing aid after that because she was so loud."
Yep.
It was a good moment. Yeah, Katie was on the other end of my freak out. I'm like, this was really hard for me. Like, my best friend won, and then I will need to tell someone, but I can't tell my best friend because she just won. So I had to go to, like, the other best friends. It was like a very big best friend conundrum I was in.
You were conflicted. So conflicted.
It was a good night. Well, I am very excited to hear new music coming from you. Do we think it's going to be coming out? Is Friday the release date, or are we still up in the air?
Hopefully Friday, if not, hopefully Monday at the latest. That's the game plan as of right now. I will announce it on Facebook once we for sure know the exact date and everything. But it will also hopefully come out digitally to stream at the same time or shortly after. So
that's awesome.
So I do have to say we have a few comments that have come in at the end before we get out of here. A lot of our friends are saying good night because they can't hang with us because we're too much. That's okay. So
what's the pajama comment about?
The pajama comment. Oh, but Katie's mom said, "Fun show, girls. If you drag Cynthia across the river, don't let her get her pajamas wet."
What am I missing?
Okay, Mom. Okay, so
it's pretty good. I like it.
Really quickly, can I say why she mentioned?
We need to know. I need to know.
That's an inside baby Katie story from my mother. Thank you very much. So apparently the first time as a family that I participated in a trip to Texas from Oklahoma, they really hyped up, like, we'll know we get to Texas when we've crossed the Red River. And so for the days prior to this trip, that was the enthusiastic, like, commentary I got from my parents. We'll be in Texas, you're going to Texas, and we're going to cross the Red River. And apparently, as we started that drive down south, I inquired, I was little, please, like, context here, I was a little kid. I inquired as to if I was going to get my pajamas wet when we crossed the Red River because they had not been specific.
You know what we should do? We should all get matching pajamas, go to the river, and take pictures standing in the river.
Oh, nothing would make my mother more entertained or happy.
No one else would know what we're talking about or why those pictures existed, but we would have fun.
No, it's just between us.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Mom.
No, Noni said I was there and could hear Lauren in the back. Since that award show, there's been random friends kind of come up and go, yeah, we were there. We heard that. And it's one of my proudest moments. So much.
You were heard by the masses.
The ultimate hype woman. The ultimate hype woman.
That is
hype woman. She got it all.
Yep. I told Katie, is like, I would love nothing more than to go down as an old lady that just gossips her way to heaven. Like, just talks the funniest talk about everybody.
I'm not sure that's how that works.
Like, you'd be a hype girl, and then we're going to just talk about everything. Like, absolutely. That's my goal. Yeehaw Meemaw's on a mission.
I'll pray for you.
Oh, please do. My mother would appreciate that.
I already do. Are you kidding? Oh, man.
My goodness, this has been incredible. I knew it would. When I posted it on my Instagram story, I said, we're going to be physically ill from laughing, and my cheeks are so sore. This was good for my soul, good for my heart. Cynthia, as always, it's been fun. This little show just keeps going. What the heck is going on?
Huh?
I said our little show just keeps going. I don't know what's happening.
I'm pretty sure that we're trying to make that happen, but
I
could be wrong. I thought that was the plan.
We've hit over 1,000 streams on our last show with Jenny Dell, which was really fun.
Nice.
And if anybody lasts this long in this one, they are the hardcore fans. Must say they're
sticking with us.
Right.
So just a heads up, everybody, real quick. This video will in 30 days delete, but I am going to be downloading and reposting it here in the near future as well. So we won't lose this. We sadly lost our first 2 interviews because Facebook is stupid and deletes live video. Drives me nuts. But yes, so we will still have the video available online here in the near future. I just gotta do the whole download upload.
Dude, if I wasn't watching this, it would take me a week to get through this.
That's a fair comment.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I said if I wasn't doing this and I was watching it, it would take me a week. I would have to do it in chunks because we've been so long-winded. And I have zero apologies. None.
It's kind of like a podcast. So I think honestly, we could totally put this on in the background and listen, and I'd enjoy it. I don't know.
My friends said they do that.
What people don't understand is us 3 can see each other the whole time. Everybody else can't see. Me and Lauren, when Katie's talking and the little green box is on her and we know she can be seen on Facebook and we aren't seen, we'll make faces at each other as we chat.
The itchiest, runniest nose all night. So I'm like, y'all are probably like, what is wrong with her? If the camera's not on me, it's a whole nother world.
That a side effect of your rotor-rooter.
Yeah. That's surgery. And so now it's like a faucet. It just turns on and off when it wants to. We didn't need
details. That's disgusting. Just keep it to
Come on, we got to get real. It's country as a biscuit. We real up in here.
Yeah, I don't know how to make biscuits that aren't from a can. So anyways.
It's so sad. Oh, I will say, closing out, we have a funny thing that you mentioned cooking. So one of Katie's friends from Mountain Smoke, Kitty Davis, texted her and was like, "What's this? What did he say, Katie?" You said it to me.
Oh, hold on, let me look. Something about it. Tell me about this. Oh my gosh, tell me about this biscuit thingy.
This biscuit thing.
That's what he said.
The text message I got tonight, it was great. It made me, or earlier today, because he was looking at my socials. he goes, tell me about this biscuit thingy.
It's kind of like false advertising though, because people are expecting food and there's no food. So
the funny thing is, I told Katie, I said, tell him it's our new cooking show.
Yeah, and I did. I was like, Cynthia's gonna teach us how to make biscuits. We're chefs now. We're hanging up the music thing and we're gonna be chefs.
I tear open the can and then it pops and it scares me and I yell. That's the gist of it.
Pop it on the cabinet and make it burn.
Over.
Cooking show over. My husband will watch me. Wes watches me when I go to open cans. He'll like just like stare, and I'm like, "Don't watch me," because he knows I'm gonna jump when it pops.
That's pretty cute. That doesn't surprise me at all.
It's terrible because then I'm like, ah.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that beautiful note, to our 9 friends that are still watching, which I'm pretty sure it's our moms and Katie's friend Tyler. So there you go. We've got the hardcore friends.
That sounds about right. Thanks, guys, for sticking it out with us.
We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I don't even think we've decided on who we're going to have next episode, so we'll announce that. We've got a few different ideas floating around, but we need to have a Country as a Biscuit employee meeting and figure out who's going to be next on
We're
the
both
show.
employees. Who's the boss?
Ooh, we haven't established that yet. That's probably best if we don't.
It's a partnership. There we go.
Equal partner.
Equal partners. Both equally not knowing what we're doing.
100%. Katie Barrick, I love you
Yes.
so much. Thank you for being on our show. You offered incredible insight. It was so fun to get to geek out a little bit as a fiddle player with you and show Cynthia a little bit of my world.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. Seriously, this was just a blast, but also I was way overdue to get to hang out with Cynthia and get to meet you. So thank you for having me on your show, but also thank you for giving me the chance to hang out with you and get to know you a little bit. That's an honor. I know that the sharing of friends with your other friends is always a trust exercise, and I don't take that lightly. So Cynthia, I love you.
Love you too, girl. And honestly, now I know I don't have to be jealous.
Not a bit, girl.
Too much.
There's a room for
Y'all
everyone.
Y'all are closer together
geographically.
geographically. So
We are. We go back a little more. I said
That's
there's room for everyone at Yeehaw Meemaw's table of friendship.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Katie, for being the
It's getting that time.
Thank
Wrap
you,
it up,
Katie.
ladies.
Thank you, Katie, for being on the show. Thank you, everyone, for watching Country as a Biscuit with Lauren Lee and me, Cynthia Rausch. Hope you guys will join us. If I'm not sure who we'll have on next week, but we will be back next week, come hell or high water. And
That was really intense.
Hopefully not high water. My RV will float away.
Wheels up, ladies. Hey, then just hop on the Red River. It'll just scoot you on north.
Watch your
no.
pajamas, though. Watch your pajamas, though.
Watch your pajamas. Well, thank you guys
Bye,
so much.
ladies.
Bye.
I love you.
Love y'all.